So today, I'm gonna give you 4 skills that will be valuable with you, in the coming years. Skills that could be, some may be harder than the others, some may be super simple, but those things are valuable. They will pay you dividends in the future if you learn them. So from that, here's number 1, and that is, as we were setting our watch, and that is to code. Learn, how to, build computer programs and deal with these softwares, because they're getting more and more complex over the years. We have more of a dependency on them to survive as a species, right? Everyone has a smartphone. Pretty much everyone has now a computer, right? A big PC at their disposal. And for that, that only means that more people are dependent on that technology, and there's a bigger demand for people to be able to manage that technology and improve it and build upon it and make it more complex for these new improvements to be made in this technology. Because in the future, technology is going to get more and more complex. There's going to be more demand for bigger improvements. There's bigger problems that need to be solved. And what's going to happen is that more and more people are going to be needed to know how to code. You're going to need big teams of tens of hundreds or even thousands of people coding different projects and taking care of these systems, because a lot of them can't take care of themselves. Although you have the concept of machine learning, and other algorithms that do a lot of the work for you, of course those are great, but you need people to manage those operations, to manage those processes. And for that, you need to know how to code. And that skill, the future, can easily probably net you today an easy job in the hundreds of thousands of dollars as a developer. And it enables you, to almost create your own art in a sense. Create new technologies and systems, and items and machinery, for yourself, by bringing them to life through this software and telling them what to do. Creating these games, these iPhone apps that are pretty much going to keep growing and growing because more and more people are using them. So from that, know that skill. Number 2, know how to work out and how to train people. Oh my gosh, in the future, there's going to be more and more of a demand for people to want to become fit, right? There's more of a demand through social media's pushing it, everyone to be skinny, right, and fit and muscular. And what's happening now with all this technology is that it's making it harder for people, to want to get up and move. They just want to sit down and use their technology, sit at home and use a computer, right? Especially after this pandemic, a lot of people got used to living in their house, right? Getting used to that life of not moving from quarantine, and they liked it. And from that, there's going to be more of a demand for people to want to figure out how to get fit right at home, how to understand what it means to be physically fit, what it takes, and if you learn that skill, how to train people, know how to train yourself first, because that's what you need to know how to do first. It'll get you a good job. It'll make you super cool amongst your friends at the very least, because they will love you, probably. They like fitness, but it could really open doors for you in the future. So learn that, learn how to train people, how to do a proper workout for the common man, right? Because everyone's different, but there's these generalized workouts that can serve pretty much anybody, and that's what you want to do. You want to learn how to teach people how to do that and give them that opportunity. So from that, learn fitness. And then that brings us to number 3, is you want to learn how to invest. Oh my gosh, right? Because investments That can be very basic, right? You just throw your money in index funds, 401ks as source, right? Or, you know, just cryptocurrencies. Although some may say that's more risky, but for people that want those big returns, that might be an easy way to make money. Just put it in the crypto and leave it. But, you know, what about if you're someone that wants to figure out the bigger technical details of those financial markets, investment measures, right? There's going to be a demand for that. There already is. It's going to keep growing as the markets expand, as more and more people, especially through the apps like Robinhood, Webull, E-Trade, what those iPhone apps are doing is they're allowing more and more everyday people to become investors, to become interested in, you know, putting their money, you know, and allocating it in resources and receiving a return in them. Right? A lot of people with like no, how do you say it, knowledge or expertise in the financial markets are going out and buying all kinds of stocks, and they want to know what they're doing. Right? I've had friends, they ask me, you know, what do I do in the market? What do I buy? There's a demand for that. And if you're someone that knows the market, that learns, that has experience in it, people will pay you for that. You will pay yourself because you'll know what you're doing when you're investing, and you can help others in that field. Right? And who knows how much money you'll be entrusted with, or you will entrust with yourself. Simply knowing, you know, how to grow that money through investments, through stocks. And it's a very valuable tool, right? Something you can't really learn in college, but from experience, from reading, you know, financial papers and books on the market, other things, and simply getting the experience of trading yourself. So number 4, I was recently made aware of this through, you know, the mastermind Kevin Samuels. I don't know if you heard about him on YouTube. He's this image coach who is amazing, and he brought me aware, or raised my awareness to the idea, you know, of management, which is number 4. You know, be able to manage, you know, enterprises and businesses and consult them, right? He mentioned one example for other YouTube content creators, right? There is a demand for people managing them, managing their accounts, right? People want their Instagrams managed. They understand that there's a huge demand for these social media platforms and, you know, how they look on them, but they don't necessarily have all day, you know, to make it look the best, and they want experts in that field, right? They want Instagram experts, they want YouTube experts, they want people, you know, who know this stuff in that area and are willing to help them out, right? And if you can give them, you know, a return that's greater than their investment, right? You say you want $100 an hour to manage someone's Instagram, well, you got to deliver on that. You got to grow their Instagram, you know, to a point that would demand that you got to research other, you know, products and services that are out there on the market, because there's already people doing this, and you got to compete with them. You got to outdo them. You got to manage, you know, these people's social medias and YouTubes better than they do. And this also can extend to businesses, right? A lot of people think CEOs are these like supermen and superwomen, right, that are at the top of the food chain, managing their whole company, and they're the head honchos. But those people need management as well. They need coaches, you know, telling them what to do, you know, to relax them, you know, to de-stress them, because a lot of them, you know, have a lot of stress. They have a lot of worry because they have a lot at their plate. And if you're someone that can talk to these people, right, there's a reason why, you know, a lot of CEOs and presidents, I know, like Bill Clinton would talk to, you know, the man Anthony Robbins. And that's not to say, because Anthony Robbins wasn't the president ever, you know, he probably, you know, didn't have the same amount of business expertise as some of these CEOs and entrepreneurs that he's dealing with, but they know that he's good at managing others, He's good at managing people and getting them on the right track and getting them up to speed and getting their productivity up, because that's what they want. And he delivers on that, and people pay him millions for it. And that's not to say that you can't make millions from that, but if you're able, to push these people forward in the right direction and lead them on the right path in their businesses, then they will pay you too. They will reward you for that, and from that, you will be able to be a multi-million-dollar manager or consultant. So what you want. So we're gonna cross this and observe. Oh, we got red. Eddie, come on. Hey, brother, hit us. Then stop. But let's see. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? So for that, you have those 4 ways. 2, 4 skills that you probably want to learn for the upcoming year, because those things can make you either insanely rich and powerful, give you the success that you want, right? Because I don't know about you, but I have a ton of goals that I'm chasing after, that I want, that I dream about, that I see myself attaining. And it'd be foolish to not try and gain special skills that'll help bring me there, that will increase my chances, right, of making that money, of touching all those people and solving all their problems. It's what you want to do in the end of the day. Those skills are going to solve problems, and if you can solve problems, you're going to be rich, powerful, and successful beyond means. And if you don't, it'll be pretty hard for you. And that's what you got to figure out in attaining these skills, these 4 skills that we mentioned. So here we go.